I'm here with Marilyn, and Marilyn, you moved here about a year and a half ago. Can you talk with us just a little bit about your move here and what brought you to Minnesota?
Yes, we moved in June of 2019 because my husband had terminal cancer, and our son Darren, who's a part of this church, wanted us to be closer so he could help us more. So we moved up here, and it's a good thing we moved when we did because he immediately got worse. The church just stepped in and did anything we needed them to do. One of the first things was that our garage was all full of junk, as is our basement, because we didn't know what to do with all the things we'd moved. And you and Brad and some of the other people from the church came by and helped us organize that stuff so we could get a car in the garage. That was very early on. COVID, of course, would have probably been a death sentence for Wayne because he was immunocompromised. So we couldn't come to church, and we were really glad that you were having church online. So we watched every Sunday. Wayne watched with me. He would sing the hymns with me, and it really helped give joy to our lives. I think the elders and the church have a way of dividing up the congregation and checking on people who need help and prayer. And our first elder was Brad, and he would call us and see how we were doing.
Wayne's health deteriorated. He took a turn for the worse, ended up in the hospital. Talk to us about what happened in those last weeks.
Yes, in October, his legs quit working, and it was his adrenal gland, which I did not know that was something that would happen. But he was in the hospital for a week, and when he came home, he was on hospice. And that particular hospice sends a nurse to your house twice a week. But other than that, I was on duty 24/7 as a nurse, and I'm not trained. So it was pretty intense for me, and the church was wonderful. The people from my Bible study would call me and tell me they were praying for me. Other people, you called, other people called us, and it meant so much to know that there was somebody supporting us. And that was a pretty fast 6 weeks, really. It was, although it was intense, it just happened pretty quickly. And in November, Wayne passed away, and we had the memorial service here at CrossPoint. Well, I didn't expect anybody to be there because we really hadn't been here all that long. So we walked in, and there must have been 30 to 50 people there during the height of COVID. And many of them were people from my Bible study. It was so good to see people who loved us and cared for us. It meant everything to have the family behind us. It was surprising, and it was wonderful.
Oh, that's great. 2 weeks ago, you came back to church for the first time. Talk to us about being able to come back. What made it so you felt like you could come back? And what else have you been involved in since you've come back?
I didn't feel comfortable coming back to church until I had a COVID shot. I've had my first shot now, and so 2 weeks ago I came back to church, and it was so good, particularly to sing in person, because although I like those online services, it was hard to get into the music all by myself, singing by myself in my living room. So it was really wonderful to be back worshiping with you. And 2 weeks ago too, I went back to Women's Bible Study, and people welcomed me with open arms. It was so good to see everyone and to share God's word. It's just it's helping me to find out who I am now. We were talking this morning about finding your purpose that God has for your life, and I knew what it was when I was a caregiver, but now I'm finding out all over again, and the church has helped me to do that. There's nobody at CrossPoint that isn't open and loving. That's one of the things that attracted me to this church, is that the people are genuinely engaged with God. And when you're engaged with the Lord, then the other half of that is that you reach out to people. So don't be afraid to reach out, because you'll be welcomed and you will feel better than you did before. It's not good to be alone. And that's one of the things COVID has done to us. It's made us feel alone. So come back to CrossPoint. We'll help.